That hit me hard on that first taste.
Hi, exploring whiskey people.
Welcome back to another episode of Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and today we're heading back to the Booker's line, and this will be the last expression from 2019. This is Beaten Biscuits, the 04 release. So this came out in October-ish of 2019, before the world went crazy in 2020. And it's kind of funny. So I know we've already done country ham. Apparently Booker had a huge passion for country hams. His grandmother used to make country, like the biscuits, the Beaten Biscuits.
Goes with the ham.
It goes with the ham.
Ham biscuits.
He was almost as obsessed with the biscuits as he was with his bourbon and his ham. So this is a nod to Booker's grandmother, who he used to make those biscuits with. It's kind of funny. The 2020-01 was Granny's batch. That was actually a nod to Fred's grandmother, which was Booker's mom. So
it's a lady in their lives.
It's all about the ladies in the lives. Yeah, sometimes the ladies makes the man, right? Is that how that works? We've gone through this. Booker's put out once a quarter. Generally, 2020 was an exception.
Produced on a single date.
Single date, usually a handful of different warehouses. This one's
two warehouses, but in 3 different locations in each warehouse.
And it is uncut, unfiltered. So that means, for unfiltered, literally all they're doing is running it through a strainer to get out the wood pieces. Uncut means
no water.
Yeah, they didn't add anything to this. It's 126.1 proof.
They're all like that.
And they're all like that. They all sit in that 126 to, I think the hottest I've ever heard was 132, 134, somewhere in that range. But I mean, in theory, it was put in to the barrel at 125.
Right.
And then usually they age them right in it's 6 to 8 years. This is 6 years, 6 months, and 19 days. I don't like weeks. 2 weeks.
Everyone's got a method to their madness. It's a question when we go on tours.
Exactly. Yeah. With that, not normally, depending on where you're at in a warehouse and what type of warehouse you're in, you will lose. If you have a higher humidity, you will lose more. Wait, hold on. If you have a higher humidity, you lose more alcohol. If you have a lower humidity, you lose more water, which makes the proof go up. So it's kind of, there's science to all of this wonderfulness.
Let's taste this wonderfulness.
This is, we've already done 4 other ones. The country ham from 1903 is probably my favorite. This is a very, very close number 2.
I've got the country ham sitting at home.
It's
unopened and still in the box.
That's a solid bottle, the country ham. I really like that bottle. That's a lot of cinnamon notes and some ethanol, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that first sip. That toffee, vanilla.
Okay.
And then a little bit of heat.
I get a little cinnamon. I'm also getting a little bit of fruit. More of a dried fruit note on the nose. That cinnamon comes through pretty strong. And then I'm not getting, it's funny, there's a hint of a nut smell there, like a dusty nut smell, but nowhere near what we experienced with that pigskin batch.
The last one was all nutty. I get peanuts in the aftertaste. I mean, the finish is long. You're going to get a little bit of you're going to feel warm. Just give it the proof.
That's nice. Smooth.
I get the fruit. I want to let it sit. I get it on the side of the tongue. It's, I guess, a cherry.
Yeah. Okay. But more.
You get a little bit of it in the finish as well. I think it's stronger if you let it sit in your mouth just for a second or two.
I might have to go back to that proof.
Some water.
That hit me hard. Woo! I was expecting it, and it still hit me hard. That was crazy. But There's a brown sugar, burnt brown sugar, not creme brulee. Like it's a different kind of a caramel, which is basically burnt sugar, right? And it's that coats the tongue.
And then nose, I get a little bit of oak. Coming back to it, fruit, but that's kind of about it.
Yeah. Okay, so is the cinnamon? I was thinking cinnamon, but you're right. It might be a little bit more oaky than an actual cinnamon note.
It smells that oaky, like dry. Did that dry?
Yes.
To it, dry smell to it.
But it didn't hit the tongue like that. It doesn't like my tongue did not do that weird dry out sensation that you do get off of some of the more oaky whiskeys. Well, it's either cinnamon or an oak note, but it's one or the other. It's there. It is a fruit note. There's a.
The longer you let it sit in your mouth, though, the hotter it gets.
It just keeps getting.
I didn't even aerate it because normally when I aerate it, it feels like it gets hotter. I just let it sit there, but the finishes for me is still the same.
Yeah.
It's very long. It's very peanutty. Once kind of the peanut kind of goes away, you pick up a little bit of that dark cherry, and then you just get warm.
Yeah, you do the chew.
It gets hotter.
It gets really warm. All the ethanol. Wow. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, all the ethanol comes through. There's a sweet around it. I don't know how to better explain that. There's a sweet that goes around it, but the ethanol, the oak, the
peanut, man, it just doesn't go away.
Yeah, peanut, all that hits, like it just, that's the middle of it, right down the pipe. And it sits there for a long time.
You know what, I remember I didn't really care for the heat and the peanut in the last one, but
it doesn't bother me on this one as much. I don't know what the difference is, but that was sharper peanut notes.
Yeah.
And sharp is, I think, a very subjective descriptor, but that was just a little harsher the way the peanut came across and the ethanol came across. Don't get me wrong, chewing it, that was a little harsh.
The peanut to me, and living in the South, it's not one of my favorites, but it has more of that boiled peanut taste.
Okay, I can see that.
That's where I still don't understand that boiled peanut thing. And I've lived here almost 20 years.
Smaller sips. This is really good. When you do try to do a little chew, hold it in your mouth for a little bit longer to get a little bit more flavors out of it, it hits you. Like it packs a punch.
We've witnessed.
Yeah, it hit me pretty solidly. But but not in a bad way. Like it caught me a little bit, but it was like, it still ends up being there's a nice finish to that. The little bit of a peanut, not a roasted. Yeah, it's a little weird. So I'm never had boiled peanuts, so I'll just go with it for you.
We'll get you some this summer.
I'll pass.
I enjoy this one. I think, again, the other one was overpowered by peanuts, but this one, you still get it, and it hangs around, but it is not as overpowering.
Yeah.
It's just kind of that faint aftertaste.
Well, my understanding is most Beam has a kind of funky type peanut note in it. So that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't bother me as much as the last one. In the last one, or maybe not the last one, the one before, I got really excited, or really animated is a better word, but I really wanted to try Little Book. I found a Little Book. So that will be coming. This is the last bourbon, Booker's bourbon that we have access to currently.
Unless one of our friends out there has been holding out on us.
I highly doubt anybody has anything old, but we will continue the process at some point in probably February. The first 2021 will come out.
Yep.
They tend to do it late January. They start their distribution for each expression. I'm really hoping it's a solid.
Going to our favorite liquor store on Friday. I'm gonna have to talk to our friend there.
Yes. Yeah.
See if he can let me know.
Yeah, it'd be good to start getting, hey, this is dropping soon. You might want to swing by the store.
I'll have to agree. This is probably my favorite pour out of the lineup.
I still think Country Ham is,
It's good. Yes.
that's tops for me as far as any of the ones that we've had. This is a really close second, not realizing that you probably shouldn't chew with that. I mean, if you don't chew it and you sip it really like a little bit of a smaller, quick sip, very nice. It's really, really nice.
So for me, I like the full strength, the barrel proof. I enjoy just a small cube with it. Given this in the 126, I don't want a cube with it. I'm pretty good with it, just as is.
I'd just be interested as to what a cube would do to that.
I would
Because it's
start
not
with-
an overly sweet.
No, I would start with a drop or two of water.
Yeah, and see. What, I mean,
yeah.
there's enough oil in there that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make an impact. No question about that. But I do wonder.
Well, we've got the rest of that one to sample, and I've got one too, so
There you go.
we can toy around.
We can toy around, see which version of this is the what we prefer. Yeah, I agree. Maybe a couple drops of water and let the oil move around is the way to roll. Not sure. I like their expressions. I like that they're similar but different. I love the uncut,
nod.
unfiltered.
I like the nod.
I like the historic nod to this is to Booker's grandmother, and all the different things that have gone on in the Beam lineage's life. Very cool.
Well, I've enjoyed the couple we've done so far.
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're lucky enough to score a few more.
I'm really looking forward to the 2021-01.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's just like they realize that last release wasn't quite up to par, so they go above and beyond, and maybe it's a little closer to that 8-year.
Yep.
I think that would be really solid. Another year or two of mellowing. Ooh, I'd be really interested in that.
We'll find out.
We will find out.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Bookers. If you did, we'd encourage you, as always, to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, get notified, share it on Facebook if you think there'd be anybody that'd be interested in. And what's your favorite?
Just a comment.
Let us know.
Leave us your opinion. We'd love to read it. And again, as always, if there's a bottle out there that you really enjoyed that we haven't done yet, we'd love to hear about that, and we'd love to do it on the channel.
Yeah, we haven't done a hunt together for a little while, so it's almost time for that.
Well, until the next episode, thanks for joining.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers.